Britain overnight. Rain, sleet and snow across northern Scotland, some icy spots here, some ice also forming through the northeast of England and very misty with some hill fog across many parts of central Britain. To the southern half of Britain, thickening cloud will mean temperatures get up a few degrees as the night wears on, ahead of this batch of windy, wet weather working its way in from the west. It'll become increasingly unsettled through tomorrow morning's rush hour. Miserable conditions if you're having to travel. All of this windy, wet weather piling its way northwards through the course of tomorrow afternoon. Despite the miserable conditions, temperatures back up a few degrees. Not quite as cold as it has been of late. Much milder for all of us. Have a good night.
Seven Seas Joint Care Range proudly sponsors the ITV National Weather.
Good evening, I'm Faye Barker. This is London Tonight. Crossrail has suspended some of its construction work after an employee was badly burnt. Health and safety concerns have been raised after a live cable was cut at a site in Holborn. Our political correspondent Simon Harris reports.
The Crossrail site in Holborn was deserted today. Behind the barriers is the trench where a worker was badly burned in an explosion. It's thought a colleague using an angle grinder accidentally made contact with a mains electricity cable. Eyewitnesses say what happened next was horrific.
I was in the basement downstairs in our workshop and we heard two loud explosions, almost like a sound of metal clanging on metal. And then come running up the stairs, see a burst of flame come up. And then we saw smoke everywhere and a guy just screaming. He sounded like he was in a lot of pain.
Crossrail is Europe's largest civil engineering project, but all work which involves groundbreaking, such as piling and trench digging, has been suspended while safety procedures are reviewed. This is not the first time an accident has raised questions about safety at Crossrail sites. Earlier this year, a large piece of heavy equipment came crashing down near Paddington, fortunately that time without injury. The collapse of the hopper used for loading clay onto rail wagons was a major setback. It led to a build-up of mud which brought tunnelling to a standstill. Some members of the London Assembly are beginning to worry.
This is a huge and complicated project, but accidents shouldn't be happening with this frequency, and certainly the types of accidents that are happening. And I do think we need to look very closely now at what's going on at Crossrail.
For more than 3 months, the Unite Union has mounted a protest at the entrance to the Crossrail site in Westbourne Park. Site safety is one of the issues. Former Crossrail electrician and union activist Frank Morris claims he raised concerns about a safety chamber on a tunnelling machine.
It's got 20 gas masks and enough air to last a certain amount of time for 20 people. And all I said to them was, I went in and I said, you've got too many people on the machine, there's 28 people there.
Tonight, Crossrail insisted the safety chamber can accommodate far more than 20 people. A spokesman said Crossrail regards the safety of all those working on the project as paramount.